Hello and welcome to part 2 because Sabrina accidentally turned it off. So anyways, so she got a phone call in the last segment because her husband is not feeling well. And so we're talking about him possibly having an ulcer. Because I used to have an ulcer and I couldn't eat anything spicy. I couldn't eat anything saucy. I couldn't eat tomato sauce at all. And it made me sad.
Because my husband, like, right now, if he eats spaghetti sauce, like, he'll cramp. And he made some good spaghetti sauce, and he ate a lot. And then, before I left, he was, like, cramping, went to the bathroom 3 times, and he's like, I know I shouldn't have eaten it. And then my daughter called and said he was throwing up. And they were talking about ulcers. So then they were talking about, for sauce. And then I was like, is that, like, I might have an ulcer because when I drink sweet alcoholic drinks, my stomach starts to cramp, and then this bitch over here says, what?
I said, that's just your bullshit, miss. Like, that's, like, literally, like, no, you just don't.
You've always been that way.
You've always been that way, and, like, you just shouldn't drink sweet drinks, and that's what you like.
It's your body, like, rejecting it, and you're like...
It's your body rejecting it, and you still order it. Maybe I have an ulcer. Maybe your stomach doesn't like fucking mudslides. I don't know.
Mudsides, those were my favorite.
I know.
From fucking Applebee's?
No,
yeah,
TGI Fridays. That's where she liked it. Because it came in the big, ginormous martini glasses.
And then even when I, like, still lived in Mesa or whatever, and I'd go out with my friends Adrian and Doris and stuff, yeah. And then I'd be like... They're like, sorry, let's go. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, right. They're like, this bitch is going to have one sip and be like, ow, my stomach hurts. Ow.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't drink for many, many years, because it would be anything.
I remember going and visiting you on Extension. Every time I drive by there, I think about you.
Oh, I take the kids on this is where we used to live.
I remember you and I going to, like, clubs, and you'd be like, I want to get a drink. And I'm like, no, not yet. And she's like, why? No, not yet. No, what, not yet. And then she's like, okay, we'll get a drink. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm in a good spot to where I can, like, stand here while she goes to the bathroom because she had one sweet drink, and she's got to go because her stomach hurts.
I know, but my stomach loves me. I honestly didn't drink for many, many years because of that.
Well,
and I really think because I got alcohol poisoning, because that one time me and Sam, that's why I will never drink Bacardi rum. What? Because we lived on Extension, and Sam and I were drinking, and he had this big old bottle of Bacardi rum. He's like, let's play a drinking game where we play video games that I'm not fucking good at. And we'll see, every time you die, first person shooter fucking game.
Oh my god.
You take a shot. So, my ass, of course, I forgot, Metal Gear Solid or something I think it was. And, of course, I went from not being drunk to crawling on the floor, and then... I don't even know how quick that fucking happened. And then the next day I was throwing up all night, had the trash cans dry heaving all night till like noon the next day, still dry heaving, just had to drink a sip of water just to be able to throw something up.
Oh,
and it was like yellow vial, and it was terrible.
Oh my god.
And ever since then, like that's when I couldn't drink because I think I actually got alcohol poisoning and didn't know.
Well, and then so every drink that you've ever ordered always has like Bacardi rum in it. Do you realize that? Like any of... Sweet
well,
drinks.
If it's mixed, but I won't take shots. Well, no.
Yeah, no, when you ordered all your slushy drinks, they normally had Bacardi in them.
Oh, that's probably why my stomach fucking hurts, because it's got the Bacardi from my alcohol poisoning. I'm really not an alcoholic, guys.
I remember the one time I went, like, to your guys' place in Mesa. And
no, it was the apartment complex.
It was the apartment complex.
Is this when we take the bus to Mill Avenue?
And no, it wasn't. It was like a little while after you had Sammy, and you came home from Germany, or your cousin.
Oh yeah, we had that Feuerstein,
and you had that schnapps from fucking Germany.
It was in a ceramic bottle. It was fucking dope.
It was so fucking cool. And then, like, Sabrina's like, let's take a shot. And
Even Sam
like,
was like, oh.
And Sam goes, yeah, let's all take a shot. And he's looking at me like, you're going to get so fucked up. And I'm like, whatever, it's a shot. I'll take a shot.
Mind you guys, this shit was 100 proof.
And so I took the shot, and I was like, oh, God, this is real smooth. It's really good. And Sam's like, yeah, wait for it. And I was like, literally a couple minutes later, I'm talking to them, I'm like, like, I had no words. Like, my tongue kept getting tied.
From one shot?
One shot. And then not this bitch, but the bitch that she's married to was like, oh, hey, let's take another one. He took another one with us. And I was like, and it was like beer fest, like, you know, those like drunk goggles movies where like it just zooms in on, like, you zoom in on whatever you're seeing, like you have tunnel vision. That was me. And I'm just talking to these two, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like I'm going anywhere. And I'm like, I hear baby crying in the background.
How old was fucking?
Sammy was a baby.
Oh, okay.
Sammy was a baby. And I hear, and I'm like, oh, how far is he? And I'm like grasping for him in midair, and I'm just like, this is cool. Like, it was almost like I was like tripping on something.
What was in it?
It's just schnapps. It's like fucking German schnapps, like straight up from Germany. I don't know.
I'm trying to determine if this is it, because when I went back to Germany a few years ago, I couldn't find it. My cousin didn't remember what I was talking about. And,
that shit messed us up, though.
There is a Feuerstein, a Schierke Feuerstein, which is a German herbal liquor, a half bitter at strength of 35% alcohol by volume, 70 US,
well, that's
70
still
proof.
Like a lot of percentage. Are you sure that the one was 100 proof?
I don't know. But this isn't the same bottle, because mine was in that ceramic one with that cool...
Oh, you might have just had like a really special edition of that one. I don't know. But that stuff messed.
Was it good tasting at least?
It was strong as fuck.
I couldn't remember. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Once it hit your lips, you were drunk.
Sounds like it. Beer goggled.
Beer, like,
I'm looking it up and said,
zoned
Bist
in.
du 18 Jahre oder
Oh yeah, and this one starts like spracking the Doge, and you're like,
spracking the Dutch.
and you're just like, excuse me. I don't do that.
Well, she does that when she's really drunk. She starts talking in fucking German.
And then she starts like belting it out to her children, like they know exactly what she's talking
like,
about.
go to bed, brush your teeth, give me a kiss.
Yesterday, I was telling Sam, I was like, hey, kannst du meine Handy anrufen bitte? And I was like, never mind, found it. And he's like, what did you say? I was like, I asked you to call my phone, but I already found it.
Yeah, you like sit here and talk to everybody like we all know what you're talking about.
Hey, but the kids know now when I say put the deine Zähne, it means brush your teeth.
Remember the first and only mom's night?
With my friend who passed out on the floor?
Yes.
Sherry, we talked about that, and we were at work when I went back to Parkway a few weeks ago, and then Patty was like, hey, tell Sherry that we want to do a girls' night again, because she will never do it. She had to have her daughter pick her up, and the next day she was so hungover, and then she was looking at the pictures, and then on the phone, and then her doctor that she works with looked behind her, he was like, who's that dead person on the ground? And then she didn't see anything, because it was hard. Looking drunk, passed out on my living room floor. Oh my god.
It was the first and only mom's night. I'm like, bitches cannot stand it.
I was like Mom Night Tuesday, because I had Wednesday half day, so it didn't fucking matter if I got drunk, because I only worked like 4 hours on Wednesdays.
So we would drink, and she had her friend over, and her friend was passed out on the floor.
She's like, I'm never doing Mom Night Tuesdays again.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because some of them are off on Wednesday. I only worked 4 hours, so it didn't matter. Like, if I'm like, no, that I'm only going to work a couple hours the next day, then I'll drink at night. Because I'm like, yeah, I can handle a few hours.
yeah.
But it was funny. Because we talk, and then every time I'm like, yeah. Oh, and the funniest thing with her, too, and I brought it up, is we had a yard sale, and we drank, of course, the night before the yard sale, which is not a good thing. And she comes out. I'll never fucking forget. I almost peed my pants. I was dying laughing, and then I had to text it to her. But she comes out for this box to... Mind her, she's kind of like a hoarder like me, in a way, like pack rat. So she goes out with this box to sell these stuffed animals. And then on the box, she wrote something, and I'm going to show you guys right now because it's going to be so funny.
Oh my god, do you still have it?
It's on Facebook?
It's in my memories, and I always send it to her because I'm like, hee, remember this? Like, randomly. Because it fucking just cracks me up. I wonder if it's not on Messenger. I wonder if I just sent it to her. Anyways, on the box it says, wounded stuffies. Because she's trying to still sell her stuffed animals, but they may like have a rip under the arm of the teddy bear, or like the stuffing's kind of coming out, or like the eyes popped out like the button, and so she's still trying to sell. But she wrote wounded stuffies.
I love it.
I was like, Sherry, are you really trying to sell these? I'm like, please don't.
I feel like this is the most animated she's been in
I
like
know.
a
It
long
really
time.
has been.
It's so hilarious. I fucking love
Just gotta
Sherry.
get you away from your kids and your husband. Look at you. You're glowing.
Oh, here's the box. I just said he could put it. It'll like my mouth. And then she put wounded stuffies, and then she wrote one tear. I fucking love you, Sherry. Teresa, I'm gonna send it to Teresa so you guys can see it on Instagram or wherever she posts this shit, because this shit is hilarious.
Oh my god. Oh, that's great. Oh, jeez.
You're just
I love it.
handsome motherfucker. You're just a handsome motherfucker.
I
Binksy
miss
boy.
my other employees from my last job. It's such
Yeah, but
good
you-
memories too, but the job fucking stressed me out as fuck. But when we went out, it was fun. I go there for like a few hours a day, and then I'm like looking at everything. I'm like, fuck, why are they doing this? I'm like, oh my god, this is so much money. I'm like, why are they ordering? And I do be like, I don't work here anymore full time. Don't stress about it. And then I'll go down, I'm like, why the fuck do they order? Stop it. And then I'm like, why that? Stop.
It's not your business no more.
I know.
As long as you don't like start going in and throwing things that are expired away.
Oh my god. No. But so here this.
My god.
So my boss Robin, like every time like I do work, she's like, Sabrina, because I used to sit outside our office in another office, and I'd be like, yes, because we all like answered her, and then she's like, don't you miss that? And then I'm like, yeah. But now Bill is like her person. She's always like, Bill, the billing guy. He's gay, he's super funny. So then one day, like, she was gone on vacation, and then I was, like, in the office, and Bill's like, watch out, Sabrina. He's like, you can't push us around like you work here anymore. I was like, the last time I checked, you were pushing a broom. And then I just came out, like, out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. But I was cracking up crying, and my face got all super red, and my cheeks hurt for smiling. And Connie was like, damn. I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, well, you're all right. I'm like, I'm just saying because you push a broom because you asked me to, and now you're doing it. And then I'm like, it just came out. It was like, oh my god, it was so funny. And then like, yeah, it was a good one. Like the last time I checked, you were pushing a broom. Oh,
it was funny because the other day we're in the we're so dumb. So me and Michelle or me and the girls in the office, we're all like real, like we don't really give a shit anymore. And Patrick, or god damn it, our boss, kind of, he doesn't really give a shit like anymore either. And he walks into the office, and for some reason our office, like normally our office is really cold, like our specific room is really cold. Like, that's where the air, like, from the AC goes, is into our office. So we're all, like, normally in, like, sweatshirts, and we're, like, bundled up. And he walks in, and he goes, God, you guys, is this room, like, really fucking hot?